And we are live, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to MUFC, the M&M transfer show. And boy, do we have some movements on the transfer market that we want to share. Some exclusive news, some theories, and of course, what is going on with Sancho versus Ugarte and PSG. What is that has to do with the one in each other? Also, we're going to talk about Fofana. What kind of legs does it have? Does it have one leg, half a leg, three legs? Of course, is that one signing or two separate signings for Manchester United? But also Amrabat, is he still part of Manchester United's plan? Plus a little bit, of course, of Matthias de Ligt and Bayern situation. Dilemma. But this is the transfer news that we used to hate, but now as Manchester United fans, we love because Ineos are delivering. This is Mick Ruby, of course, and you know what to do? I want you to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I have some special guests in the background waiting and dying to speak to you. So please buckle up because here we bid. Back in 15 seconds. Like and subscribe. Here we go.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Right, well. Feel welcome. Dit is my home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
Oh, big up for you. I know we did a stream earlier this morning and the gentleman sitting here in the background did a brilliant job, 1 hour stream. If you missed it, Mark Nurse is sitting here dying to come in to speak to you. We also have Sal Warner coming as well. We're going to also listen from Fabrizio Romano as well. So guys, if you haven't smashed that like button, please do so. This is the afternoon show. And if something breaks later on, of course, we see what's going on here. Today's MUFC news, Ugarte versus Sancho swap deal chip. Of course, PSG wants 60 million silly money. We're going to talk about that. Fofana latest, of course, and is it a separate signing or is it two signings? As we are looking at, they are pulling away from AC Milan and it's stalling there. 100% what Mark reported this morning. You know, they see Monaco sees they can get a little bit more money, so that is still on the card. And a little bit what Matthias de Ligt is all about, what is going on there as well. Of course, this is predominantly regarding the midfield signings. So guys, welcome, and do smash a like because Mark Nurse is coming in here raw as well. Yo, big up, Marky. You're on mute as per usual, my friend. Meine Front. Why you always put yourself
guys.
on mute?
Well, you know, I just make sure that I don't, you know, I'm not disturbing while anyone is, you know, giving their comments. So I just try to, you know, because sometimes I do laugh out and react while people are saying things.
Yeah, 100%.
But big up to everyone in the chat, though. Big up.
Yep, I just removed my bloody virtual background because it was stalling. But listen, I want to congratulate you for a fantastic morning show this morning. It was very intriguing, very good. If you missed it, go and Mark, in summary, you were speaking about 8 players out and really summarize what we're going to touch about here. But here in this show, Mark, I want us to sort of dive into the midfield situation and the intriguing drama, what's going on. I have some news. And you might have some theories as well. So big up to all of you. So Mark, who is in the VR room? Let us give them a big, massive shout out this afternoon, my friend.
Big up to Lucky Singh. What's good, Lucky Singh? Big up to Kingdom FC as well. And of course, Stephanie Griffith is coming in. Big up to the VAR rumors. Big up going to Brendan Chappell. He's probably questioning something Lucky is saying. You know, Lucky gets a little bit reckless sometimes with his comments, but he's a good guy. Don't worry about that. Big up to Diddy New United. He's always coming in on streams recently, but I see we have something surprising coming in, and it's an early super chat from our buddy down under, and it's Jeff Steele. Big up to
super chat.
And sting like a butterfly, fly like a bee. An uppercut from Jeff Steele, we see. Yay. So big up Jeff Steele with his super chat. What does Jeff Steele say?
Can we stop saying there's no money when Ineos have made multiple deals happening at once? Obviously, the funds are available, or we wouldn't be doing these deals. Yes. No doubt sales would help, but believe seriously that the money is there. And I agree with Jeff Steele, and I think Mick is going to shed some light on this situation for you guys, so stay tuned. Big up to Kenny Fan TV as well.
Yeah. Wait. Let me just say, Jeff Steele, fantastic super chat. That kind of leads into the story when I'm going to talk to you about how they are generating and moving bits on the market, sort of juggling, tweaking around. So yeah, stick around for that chat. Big up Jeff Steele as well. This is the Steele that we want to see, man. Come on, let's go. Next, who's in the
Big
next?
up to Yali Malmin, and he's coming in saying PSG wants 70 million euros for Ugarte. Looks like he's not coming, Yali. Stay put, because there's some information coming that might make that figure look like it's just a joke. But I'll let Mick do the talking for that. Big up to Jamie Wayne. Good morning to you, my brother. Clubs financially screwed. These days should be done already 100%. This is a money issue again. The debt is killing this club. I would agree with that to an extent, but at the same time, Jamie, trust me when I say we've only spent a very little of our budget so far. It's just the fact that we want to amortize deals, but Mick will explain more as we go along. Yep. Robert Nash, welcome, bro. Here we go. Soon, red card, penalty card, penalty card. I guess it's a little bit of a delay, bro. I know how you're feeling, Robert Encia, but right now, just have a little patience, bro.
Listen, Robert, wait. Stay on that, on Robert's thing. Like, you know, I just want to sort of clarify a thing right now. There is a period where the club bought 2 players, and there's still a period where they're negotiating for all these targets. But there is also a period when you need to focus on the outs. Multiple clubs are now focusing on the outs, Robert, and including Manchester United. We've seen that Wan-Bissaka is going out the door. There's advanced negotiations. Harry Maguire. Who else do we have here? Lindelof. There's 8 players. If you missed it, what Mark did this morning, go check out the video. But give you sort of a summary. There's 3 facets of a transfer window: ins, outs, and ins again, right? In terms of getting players out of the door to invest that money back into the final stage with the more money into the kitty for the ins. So big up for you. Just want to come in there and explain, Mark. Next.
Big up to Drex coming in, says hello, everyone. Everyone, big up to all of you coming in again from Ivan Perot. Big up, my bro. I hope you're well as well. And Brendel Chappell is asking a good question, because, you know, PSG wanting more for Ugarte simply because Benfica wants more money for João Neves.
Yep, you can start that question. You can start the question, because what we do here on this channel, at the end of the show, you put your questions in, like with the question, and, you know, ask the question. We might bring it up. Yeah. And if you want to support the channel, we prioritize super chats, of course. So get your super chat in if you want to sort of be up in the queue as well. So just want to say big up for all of you. Continue. What's next on the VR Room's radar?
Well, hold on.
Shout out for everyone this afternoon.
Big up.
If not, we're just going to dive right in.
Coming back in, and she's saying FFP, PSR, or whatever new abbreviation they come up with next is irrelevant. Do the deals, remove the waste, bring in the new goods. I agree with her on that comment.
No, it's simple. Seriously, FFP and PSR has destroyed football. It's similar to VAR, right? You know, clubs are so careful not to do mistakes. What if they do a mistake and they come to the end of the season and discover they breached the PSR and FFP and they get points deduction? So that is now you're seeing why clubs are very, very careful in terms of signings before they sell. So that's why you haven't seen many clubs in the Premier League done a lot of signings as of yet. United have done 3 signings, Mark. One was the James Avery first from the Perth Glory, the kid, and 2 signings as we've seen with Xerxes and also Lenny Longlegs.
100%. I see Kenny's coming in asking your question about one of the players that is talked about joining the club. Is he a 6 or an 8? What are your thoughts on that?
Park that question, because that's part of the story. He's actually an 8. You know, just to give you a shortcut, he's an 8. He's an 8. You did a video this morning as well. You said he was an 8, right?
Yeah, I said he was an 8 based on the stats that I was looking at, based on all the metrics that I looked at between him and Zubimendi as well.
Yeah,
Ugarte.
Yeah, I did a video, also short video, and I said that in that video, morning video, about 5 minutes, and I said that is, you know, he's not a CDM, he's not a 6, because he's losing the ball approximately 14 times in one game. He's more of a progressor of the ball, like, you know, like a Frankie de Jong type. Very good going forward, very very technical, very good on the ball, but defensively so, right? He played in the France, France Euros. He plays, I think he plays as a hybrid 6 and 8 at Monaco as well. So, man, I'm not going to spoil the story, because I want to talk to you about this one. What why Manchester United are looking at him, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump into it, because I see Jeff Steele is coming back in with another super chat, another Aussie dollar super chat. Big up to Jeff Steele. He's
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
Super chat.
Yeah, I don't know what Goldbridge. I don't know what the neighbor next.
Earlier, man.
No, wait, no. I don't know what the neighbor next door, Goldbridge, is drinking in his water. To be honest, but Ugarte is coming. Stop believing Mark Goldbridge. Yeah, no. Listen, everyone, content creator, do the bits, whatever the information. But big up Jeff Steele as well. So let's dive right into the stories, guys. I haven't been live for a while, and there's a reason for it. Like I don't like to go in and do a show just because of a headline or somebody tweeted something. No, it's more to gather as maximum information as possible so we can share to the community. And big up to everyone. And if we can get up to 100 likes minimum on this video, I would really appreciate it because it's free. Let's dive right into this story. So what do you want to know is, let's start with Youssouf Fofana. Is it real legs? Or yes, it is. Yes, it is. Come and get me. Come and get me is what he's saying. Come and get me. The story is that, Youssouf Fofana has always been on Manchester United's radar and scouting, 100%. But they looked at other targets as well, right? Once he excelled over to AC Milan, they had the personal terms agreed, but they got the sniff of United's interest after they reached out to Youssouf Fofana's camp. And the way you see that United are currently doing the deals right now, they're not just going in for installments. Youssouf Fofana is out of contract, I think. 1 year left on his contract, I think. And it was reported on 20 million euros you can steal him from. So that was a bargain chip for AC Milan, which they kind of had an agreement. But as soon as Monaco find out the interest of Manchester United, they halted the process. So it is understood from my information, what I got today, that Youssouf Fofana is a separate deal from Ugarte. And I will tell you why. I did a tweet about it this morning. They are eyeing three midfielders. We know that eyeing three midfielders, that is clear. PSG deal may involve a Jadon Sancho swap deal for Ugarte. That means that money that PSG is asking for, silly money, of course, 70 million, right? 70 million. They bought him up for 60, right? They bought him for 60, so they're playing like mugs. But there's a method to the madness why PSG requires money. They took a heavy loss on Mbappe. That deal cost them a lot of money. Even if he went for free, they took a heavy loss. So PSG is trying to extort as much money. But the thing is with Ugarte, he's already handed in a transfer request. He's got personal terms with United. So United are trying to sort of get it to their favorable terms. And part of this deal is now a three-horse deal. Like, let me say. So first option was to say, okay, well, if you don't agree with the deal, we can take him on the loan. With an obligation to buy because your manager don't want to play him anyway. You don't play that style. Correct, Mark?
100%.
Yeah, 100%. And number two is like, wait, you are interested in Jadon Sancho. So we value Jadon Sancho on 50 million euros. Now, we're going to play the hardball. So how about we do this? You take Jadon Sancho. We get Ugarte. There's no transaction in between. There's basically equal swap. There might be a little bit here and there. So that eliminates that fee to pay. Understand that? So you instantly then have more money to go for your number two target, which is your number 8, which is Fofana. So United is kind of astutely talking to PSG all the time. Jean-Claude Blanc is involved in the negotiation. And Jean-Claude Blanc was the ex-CEO of PSG. So he knows the background there, like, everyone. And so basically, they reached out to Monaco and Fofana's camp to say, we are interested. I know you're in advanced talks, but can we do something different like United do? We're willing to offer you 5 million more. But in these terms, what we can do is that amortization split up. You've seen that before. They are doing it, and they're doing it again. They're applying this. And that is why it stalled with AC Milan, because, as you said, on the 24th, now what is it today? 24th. On the 22nd, was it? They gave a deadline, give us 24 hours to respond, and he didn't. So his head's been turned. So what are we today? 2 days later, they haven't responded. So that's telling me that United are heavily involved. And that was also reported by Gianluca Di Marzio as well from La Gazzetta dello Sport. So it does have legs. Fofana can join United as the number 8, not as 6. So he is a number 8 that they're looking for. Okay, that means that if they're in for Fofana, that means that they're letting go of our marquee signing, what we've been saying, João Neves That's not attainable because they want 50% upfront. So we're not going to pay that. So for 25 million pounds, that is now, the price, what they're talking about. Usually it was 20 million euros, and that was a steal for AC Milan. But United simply say, we'll give you 25 million pounds with our terms in terms of installments. That might be you get 8 million now, and we pay the rest in installments. This is something that Monaco is very much interested in. Otherwise they're going to lose the play for free. And despite talks with AC Milan, this is hot on the plate. And another thing what we're going to discuss about is Sofyan Amrabat. Mark, VR room, what do you think about this? Does this make any sense at all to you?
Well, I think it makes a lot of sense. And like Anthony Ukonkwo is asking right now, Mick, if PSG really wants Sancho, isn't it only logical for both teams to do a direct swap?
Exactly.
I mean, Sancho for Ugarte, both player wants out and are valued about the same.
Yeah. And the thing is, I said it a couple of videos ago, and, the Sancho situation to be back in training, being part of the US tour and everything is pretty much to put him on the shop window. To display to the press in the world, the kiss up and make up, that just increases his value. If the other, competitor club competitions would understand that, there's friction between Ten Hag and Sancho, that price will be 20 million, 25. But since now they've seen that the relationship is good, he's playing football at United, that only increases the value. You know what I mean? So that is just kind of a smart move from Ten Hag, and Ten Hag's gone out to the press and spoken, as what managers do. And of course, PSG now coming in. And when Jadon Sancho played in the semi-final from PSG, Luis Enrique was super impressed and said, I want this guy. Now, of course, they lost Mbappe. They're not getting Kvaratskhelia. That deal from Lazio is off by the sounds of it. So Jadon Sancho is in the number 2 list on the target. So yeah, there will be astute negotiations, and I believe that Jadon Sancho will become a PSG player at the end of the day. I certainly also I'm starting to believe that this there's multiple ways you can negotiate, and I believe that a swap deal is there. Like, okay, let's meet halfway. We get Ugarte, you get Sancho, off we go. There's no money transaction in between.
100% sounds like a thing, but I see GB's asking a question here, and I'm also thinking about this in terms of Fofana. To be honest, I'm not saying that I don't like the player, but I'm thinking from the Euros when I watched France, Rabiot started every game. Fofana came on in the last 10 minutes in a few games and got I think 30 minutes in one other game. So
yeah, but you look at the age profile. Rabiot is 29, yeah, turning 30.
28. 20. I think he's 28 actually.
29. Turning 29. So the thing is, Rabiot is the go-to person in France squad, and Didier Deschamps is kind of the Gareth Southgate 2.0 for France, So he bottled it as well. So he rather start the more experienced Rabiot that has preference, like to start in his position. Rabiot for free as well, there's something that you could do as well. But you're looking at the age profile, and Fofana makes more sense, like, for longevity. And for 20 million, as I explained, like, let me just put the logic. If you all of a sudden don't spend 0 on Ugarte, meaning you're doing a swap deal, 0, you get rid of Jadon Sancho's wage bill as well, which is on 250K a week, right? You saved a lot of money. And therefore, it's a bargain that you can go in for your number 8 target, which is Fofana, and pay 25 million. Do you understand the smart business? This is how they're kind of maneuvering at the moment.
Danny B disagrees with me. He agrees Fofana all day for him.
As a number 8, yes.
As a number 8, to be honest. Yeah. I'm composed. Yeah. I mean, if you want to ask the questions, and Brendan, if you guys drop the questions in, as long as they pertain to the topics that Mick is referring to, then I'll definitely bring them up on the screen, guys. So if you want to drop the question, just put a Q in front of it, write your question, and I'll start them in the chat. Big up.
Yeah, no, 100%. So yeah, so this is astute negotiations, of course, and Fabrizio Romano has the finger on the pulse. Olnstein has the finger on the pulse. I speak to some tier 1 journalists and some agents in the market, and this is what I can hearing, that they are doing bits on the market. They're not wasting time. But at the moment, why it's taking time is, of course, they need to focus on sales as well. Matthias de Ligt, the story is, of course, what you mentioned this morning. We're going to dive into that as well a little bit later on. But just want to stay on this Ugarte because I think it's very, very interesting, right? So if you can understand the smart business, what I'm trying to explain to you, you get basically, if you do a straight swap deal, Sancho versus Ugarte, is 0 spend. And then you still have money to get 25 million pounds with amortization installments. So you only spent 8 million in that way, yeah, for Joseph Fofana. And he's a great player. He's number 8, 100%. And you're not going to play young Kobe Mainoo week in and week out. You're going to rotate in certain extent. So yeah, Joseph Fofana, great profile. What is his age profile? I can't remember. He's
25.
25. Perfect. Yeah, that is in the bracket of Ineos. Yeah.
Yeah, Rabio agrees. Big up.
Yeah, Rabio all day. Fofana over. Yeah, 100%. But you know, multiple clubs are exploring. And he wants to come to Premier League. If you're talking about Rabio, but you know, the question is, do you want to come and get less wages? Because if you want high wages, this is the highway to hell. We're not going to give you 300k a week. Like, you know, maximum what we're seeing, we offer him 200k a week. Will he take it? Will he take it? I don't know. And give him 3 years of contract. What by the time he finishes, he'll be about 32, 33, and probably go to MLS or Saudi or something like that. So yeah, watch out for that one as well.
Yeah, well, I see Anthony's asking again the amortization policy. Is it what we're truly doing, especially with Fofana? Well, yeah. If you look at the deals with Joshua Zirkzee, we've done it with him. We've only paid 17 million down to Bologna. We've also done it with Lenny Euro at Lille. We've only paid something, I think it's like 12 or 13 million down to them. And we did it. We are doing it. This is the plan. This is why a lot of the deals have been taking long. But yeah, you know.
But everyone still lives in the Murtaugh madness, like what Jeff Steele. Everyone thinks Murtaugh and Woodward's still doing deals, for fuck's sake. No, it's true. This is, you know, forget about that. That train has sailed. You know, if you've been sleeping under the rock, if you have noticed what, you know, we're doing multiple bits, we're walking away from Brentway. We are not going like, okay, we're speaking to target number 1, target number 2, target number 3, equally good, different price. But if this one says yes, then, you know, we will find out if the other one says yes, and we will just basically find out which one is the better option. It's like before we used to put one egg in one basket, but now we have multiple eggs in the basket and we're just waiting for the first one to hatch and say, whoop, whoop, we see, right? So this is very mind-boggling. Like, you know, I don't recognize the club, and we're moving, you know, stealth on the market as well. But by the way, nothing is leaking out. And if it's the targets, what's been reported, these are the targets the United is actually going for. They're actually going for the targets that are on the priority list and trying to make the deals. Pick up Burba in the house as well. I can see you. Murtaugh couldn't handle a Tesco meal deal. Sorry, there's 2 of us clicking on Burbos. Can you click on Burbos again there? Yeah, I let you handle the chat there. Murtaugh couldn't handle a Tesco meal deal. We have proper people in charge now, and 100%. And that kind of wraps it up what I said, Burba. 100%. It does. True. What you agree. 18 likes from what are we? 18 likes from 50 likes. Ooh, good. So we are on 40, what? 37 degrees. No, 48. 38.
30,
oh,
30,
you subtract that, that's 38 degrees Celsius.
Big up.
Yeah, big up. So anyway, yeah, I mean, just want to hear your thoughts, Mark. Like, you know,
I see Rat on Pork. LaRuque is saying difficult deal going the Ligt and Ugarte, but you know, guys, I think the only difficult situation is the hype about the transfers right now in the media. You know, everyone wants to see everything happen quick and fast. I know the first 2 deals was amazing. Yes, we were all excited. Yes, we didn't expect any Euro to be done as fast as it was. Joshua Zirkzee was done on a Sunday. So it's all those things that are getting us hyped. And yes, we want this, and we expect Ineos to do good business. You've seen they gotten some players out of the club. It might have been the easiest players based on the deals and the situations, but let's be realistic. You know, if you look at the way they have been operating, that amortization policy is exactly what we're doing with every single transfer. We have a certain amount of budget, but we're trying to maximize the spend. They already made this decision, and when they spoke internally and they said, listen, we're going to take a loss to revamp this squad. The squad needs to be revamped. Right?
Yeah,
they're willing. The loss now.
Sorry. A little bit delay.
Then there's the profit later on. No, my bad. If you take the loss now, then you know Ineos is able to recover that as the seasons go forward into their project, which makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I am also a bit worried, but at the same time, I know it's going to take a little longer, especially when we are trying to tell these other clubs, listen, we want to pay you a little bit now, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit later, and a little bit after that. And some of them might want all the money up front. You know what I mean? So it's going to take a little bit of time and convincing.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm creating a poll just now. Okay. Yeah,
also,
it's basically what you're saying, that is basically absolutely right. They're willing to take a loss, just to get the deadwood out. It's time to go. You did a video, 8 players out, nobody's safe. We're taking bids. We are maximizing the interest for Scott McTominay, Spurs, West Ham, Fulham. There's Fulham money for what's his name, Paulinho, that went for
50 million.
Yeah. So of course they want to sort of hold on to the money a bit, but Spurs haven't done any signings as of yet. They are desperate for a midfielder. What was his name? Romano. No, what was his name that is injured? I'm not so good with Spurs.
You're talking about I just had his name. The bad boy guy who came from Leicester, right? James Maddison.
Yeah. So basically adding Scott McTominay into there. Of course, you saw Ten Hag speaking about Scott McTominay, but this is what Ten Hag does. This is about PR, just add value. You want my boy, you pay up, right? You want somebody that scored 11 goals, was probably arguably the best attacking midfielder for us last season. You want him, pay up. And it's like, no, he's part of my plans. And this is what they say, Mark. This is what they say. But behind the closed scenes, they're taking bids and they're creating a bidding war for him.
100%. And like there are lots of reports coming out right now. And, I see Danny B is mentioning, do you think Maguire and McTominay will leave? Well, right now, the rumblings are that Manchester United is expecting a second bid for McTominay from Fulham, somewhere in the region of 30 to 35 million. That might just be the deal that they're looking for. Also, I know Tottenham is looking at McTominay. A lot of people might not like that idea, mainly the Tottenham fans, but they are looking at him. So you never know. If Fulham comes in for another bid, it might spark up Tottenham and West Ham, who was interested last summer. West Ham are suffering with an injury to Enzo Alvarez, so it might be a replacement. They also, they need a player like that, to be fair.
Yeah. Guys, we're going to move on to the target. If you can remove Danny B's comment, big up for Danny B. And Ciao, big up all of you think United running out of money. No, they are not. They're trying to maximize the cash kitty budget by doing smart deals and a rotation, my friend. Listen, we are not the United of the old. I am referring to our good old friend Gattuso, the way he used to say. Like
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
But now it's good. But now it's good. Before it was shit, but now it's good. I see something within the Manchester global community and all socials. Everyone is starting to get like, wow. And we deserve it, people. But anyway, I started a poll, so go right in. And the poll goes in. I just want to test your PTSD if you still believe. Do you think that United will sign both Ugarte and Fofana this window? And the poll is going, guys. So keep that going for 5-10 minutes, and we will dive into the stories right here, right now. Because I also want to present... I know what you're thinking, the PTSD. That used to be me before. I know how you're feeling, guys. But let's move on, because I want to talk to you about what is Fabrizio Romano saying about this whole situation, Mark. What do you think Fabrizio is saying?
I think Fabrizio is going to say something about the clubs are still in negotiation for the players, so it's not over. Definitely something that they're trying to work a deal out, because if they're in negotiation still, trust me, there's a deal to be done. And we're still...
Let's hear what the brilliant Fabrizio has to say about the situation. Barring that, Fabrizio gets a lot of information from agents, but it's so difficult to be by yourself and have all the fingers in the pie. You slip some, and sometimes you come in and tap in. Stephanie Griffith say 37 likes. Mano. I like it. Mano. Okay, Fabrizio, what do you have to say about current Manchester United situation? Bring it on, Fabrizio Romano.
On Paris Saint-Germain, we can confirm once again that Bruno Fernandes is not a topic. For Bruno, new contract with Manchester United remains one to watch.
Okay, Bruno is off. Bruno is off. If they want Bruno, astronomical money, Mark. If they want Bruno, he's off. If they want to pay for Bruno, 100 million maximum. Okay, continue.
Maximum.
Yeah. Fabrizio, continue your pasta.
In case he stays at the club this summer, they could discuss a contract extension. Then Jadon Sancho remains one of the players in the list of Paris Saint-Germain. Still no direct contact made with Manchester United, so at the moment it's not a proper negotiation. But Jadon Sancho is one of the names they have in the short list for the left winger position. The dream target of Paris Saint-Germain for this summer was Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, exactly. Kvaratskhelia, what I said before. But that deal is off. So Jadon Sancho is number 2.
But Napoli said no. Napoli are not selling Kvaratskhelia. Conte doesn't want Kvaratskhelia to go, so he's staying. Paris Saint-Germain are considering other options, and among these options, there is Jadon Sancho. Again, he's not the only one. There is still no bid. It's just an interest they confirmed to the agents of the player, having a conversation. But at the moment, that's it for Jadon Sancho, waiting to see if a conversation will start and will become a negotiation. It will also depend on what Manchester United want to do. Let me give you some updates on Manchester United. I keep receiving many questions on Youssouf Fofana from Monaco. United had a contact with Monaco to understand the situation of some of their players, including also Van der Son and others, to understand in an exchange the possibility. But at the moment, what I'm hearing is that Man United, in terms of midfielders, keep mentioning internally the names of Manuel Ugarte and the names of Sofyan Amrabat.
So Sofyan Amrabat is still on that list. Why? Mark, do you know why? Because it's a cheap. Like we're not going to pay 20 million euro to trigger that buyout clause, right? So Manchester United are doing their terms. Fiorentina, they already replaced him. They don't want him. So we might get an Amrabat there for 11, 12 million pounds at the end of the day. And then you get 3 midfielders in there. You know what I mean? So it's quite smart deal what they're doing, right? Fofana, in other ways, his head's been turned. Fabrizio has certain information, but not everything. You covered this morning as well. As soon as the camp, as what we deluded earlier today, as soon as Fofana's agency camp was contacted by United regarding the interest, they instantly froze that AC Milan deal, and that's what he's stalling. Mark, you mentioned something this morning as well, that you read up something about the personal terms was agreed, just the fee was something. What was it? I can't really remember what you said.
When I was reading it out this morning, it was basically saying that AC Milan and the player had personal terms completed, and the clubs were hashing out a fee. Basically, what happened is AC Milan offered them something in the region of 15 million euros down payment, and they would pay the balance of the other 15 million euros next season. Now, when Manchester United notified the Monaco or the player's agent that they were interested in finding out what is happening with the player, what would the cost and the fee be, what would his demands be, apparently AS Monaco paused the deal and increased the initial asking fee plus 15 million. So basically, the initial fee for Fofana would have been 30 million pounds, but now it has skyrocketed to 47 million pounds. And that's only because Manchester United have shown interest in the player.
Yeah, but also, of course, that doesn't say, this says that United have been in touch with them because, what's his name? The Gazzetta dello Sport, De Marzio also said it as well, clearly saying that, because as soon as Manchester United say, well, are you willing to do a different deal? Similarly what we did with Xerxes, forget about the release clause. We add on 5 extra millions and we do on our terms and rotation. So that is why is still on the table, and that is why there is a deal to be made. But let's continue on Fabrizio.
So for Amrabat, they didn't trigger the buy option, but they can discuss different terms with Fiorentina.
Exactly, different terms again.
And for Ugarte, they remain in conversation with Paris Saint-Germain, but they have an agreement with the player. So let's see if Man United will decide to proceed or not, also for Manu Ugarte. But both Ugarte and Amrabat remain 2 names on the list of Manchester United this summer. On Matthijs de Ligt, Bayern insists on 50 million euros.
So we're going to talk about Matthijs de Ligt at the end, but I want to pause there. I want to really pause there because, if you listen carefully what he said, that PSG is kind of insisting on 70 million euro, but there's so many things that you can offer them. As we said, Jadon Sancho, swap deal, there's no money to be made. We also know that PSG took a heavy hit on Mbappe. They are looking to bring in the money. What is going on with Xavi Simons, the player that they bought in, but they don't want to play him. and what I hear about Xavi Simons, the latest as well, was that, you know, RB Leipzig are very keen to keep him as well. So they're also part of the negotiations as well. So that is sort of money they are taking a loss on as well. So Mark, what is your initial thought? Like, you know, everything we said here and what Fabrizio is saying as well, Amrabat still part of that list, and Ugarte is still the #1 target. And that is, according to my information, is the style of play. We need a destroyer. That has always been the plan, and we need then to move on to a #8, a more ball carrier, sort of to sort of rotate with Kobbie Mainoo. Your thoughts, please, sir.
Well, to be fair, when I look at what we want to do, and I look at the players on offer in the market, I always thought to myself there would be probably 3 incomings. I was always thinking we're going to be moving Eriksen on. I was always thinking there's a huge possibility Scott McTominay would be leaving, thereby leaving a hole for 2 fresh midfielders to come in. And regardless of Casemiro leaving or not, I always thought we would get in another player to back him up or to provide coverage there. So I was always looking at 6 players, 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, and, you know, possibly a striker in the last. Now, they did it in a different order. They got a striker, they got a centre-back. So I assume we'll get 2 more centre-backs, or maybe 1 for sure. You know, I think some of the youths will be bolstering the market as well. But when I look at the midfield, I look at the deals that we're on offer right now. I look at Ugarte and I say to myself, he fits our squad. He'll be a very good partner for Kobbie and Bruno. We need to get him. It's more of a necessity than a want. I think the option of Fofana gives me some kind of relief in the sense that now I know there's somebody besides Mason Mount that could come in for Kobbie Mainoo, and I would prefer that option, to be fair. You know, so I don't know if we will get him, but I know if they accept, if the clubs that we have negotiated with players for so far are accepting the amortized deal situation, then I think the players are coming to Man United. I would hope that we would be looking at someone more like a possible Zubimendi, to be fair, because he's more of an all-round player.
No, he's not coming. No, it's going to take a lot of money. It's going to take a lot of money to get Zubimendi. Zubimendi was more of a utilization to force the hand. He's not going to move. 100% is not going to move. But listen, I want to sort of add to this story there as well, because what United is doing at the moment is they're bringing in players who understand the interest before they even go out on the market. And let me say one thing. Casemiro, he needs to go, because in order to get Ugarte, you need to get out, Casemiro. Eriksen, Fofana is Eriksen's replacement, if you look at that position as well, because Eriksen was playing the #8 position. So there's 2 players, and to replace that, you replaced Casemiro with Ugarte, which is a better, defender, destroyer, and then you put in a Fofana as an Eriksen replacement. So that is what's going on at the moment, as per my understanding, Mark.
100%. And I mean, I agree with Curlers here about the moving mountings for Xavi Simons. I would definitely like to see him come in, but in a way, I kind of also agree with Brendan, what he was saying earlier here. Bruno is off the table. Xavi suddenly wants to stay at RB Leipzig. Is that a coincidence? And I don't think he's saying a question. I think
no. He doesn't want to stay. He doesn't want to stay. It's RB Leipzig that wants him to stay. Now, if you get rid of Sancho, then you will see that Xavi Simons will be his replacement. You know, there will definitely be a buy next season, what PSG say. You know, so if you can do a loan with an obligation to buy, if PSG takes Sancho, we'll definitely take Xavi Simons there, because Xavi Simons is a winger. He can play in the middle. He's so versatile, right? So you see how the deals are interconnected with each other.
100%. And, you know, it gives us options in the midfield. Like, I know we have Ahmad, but right now, in my honest opinion, he needs to be focused on locking down the right side, you know, and then probably providing cover throughout the front of attack. I think we definitely need someone who can come in and actually provide that creativity that we would lack if Bruno is off the pitch. I don't think I've seen that from Mount. He's played 20 games last season and has not convinced me yet. Maybe he might do it this season, so let's see how it goes. But I would still like to have someone come in as an option. And I think that's a very, very good option. As a loan as well, it's definitely possible, because if they're not going to sell him, I mean,
they're going to sell him next year.
Yeah, if they're going to sell him next year, so anyone's getting him as a loan.
He clearly don't want to play for PSG. And that's what I'm saying, Mark. They're going to sell him. They've been saying that out in the public, like, you know, we're not going to sell him this year, but next year. But if you want him, it will be a loan with an obligation to buy. That's the thing, right? And of course, he's playing for RB Leipzig, which is already embedded there. And of course, they want to keep the player. But it's down to Xavi Simons himself, what he wants to do. Now, if Manchester United have lured him over, like, with the current project, he sees the vision, the way we sort of convinced Xerxes to come, we hijacked the deal, the way we considered, also Lenny Euro, we stole them from Real Madrid as well. So we are saying something that is right, that sits right with the players to come. And that's what I see at the moment, right? So there's a lot of news coming out. There's a lot of movements. There's some so unusual for Manchester United. But I want to finish off this topic regarding Fofana and Ugarte. And I'm going to ask it right to you because we have done a poll. Mark, do you think we're getting both Ugarte and Fofana? And do you think this will be happening with Ugarte very soon? We're doing the arm bending right now with PSG. We're fighting. This is
I'll say this, right? This is my honest opinion. If a player sends in a transfer request, it's untenable for a club to keep that player. So I would think that Ugarte is definitely a huge possibility that we would get it done very soon, because he's already sent in the transfer request. He's already agreed personal terms. Now it's just for PSG to decide, listen, we can't do this. This makes no sense.
Yeah, he's basically sent a dagger in their heart, basically. I don't want to play for you. You don't want to use me either, The coach doesn't want to play me either. Like, he doesn't play my style of play. So, yeah, they are just by basically trying to squeeze out as much money as possible. But eventually they would cave, I think.
Exactly. And also with the interest in Jadon Sancho, I think it's definitely going to end up a make-weight situation. So I think I'll just be a little patient. Maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours, you might get a breakthrough coming in there. I also look at the possibility of, Fofana coming in. But I think if Fofana comes, we won't get Sofyan Amrabat. So I think that's where it's going to be either or, in my honest opinion.
That's why they're holding on for Sofyan Amrabat. They're saying, wait. Similar situation with last season. Sofyan Amrabat waited to the end of the window and took him on the loan. So poor Sofyan Amrabat is sitting there and waiting and rotting away like the whole summer. Like, imagine the anxiety of being Sofyan Amrabat. Like, anyway, big up for everyone. I want to hear from you as well, because we created a poll. And this is the hot meter right now. So, right, we created a poll, and the hot meter, what you guys think is the most important thing. You are the most important. You're the audience, and you are the voters. The poll was like this. Do you still United will still sign both Ugarte and Fofana based on the information that you're hearing, right? And at the moment, 62% of you said yes. And 38% still living under the PTSD. And there's about 61 votes of you. So big up for all of you. That is what you think. And that is what I believe might happen. But this is the transfer window. Anything could happen, right? One day you look up in the sky, it's clear blue. You turn around, you look up again, and there's like dark skies and rain falling down and thunderstorms. Anything can happen. But right now it's the big fight. It is the arm wrestling between two giants. PSG needs to generate money, of course, and I think we have the upper hand here. 100% Ugarte is what you said. He handed in a transfer request. That is the dagger in the heart. And now United just got to get this over the line. We will not pay 60 million. We will just say, here's 40 million. Here's Jadon Sancho. Off we go. Barabish, barabush. Then we go and pay 25 million with installments or amortization for Fofana. And then we move on, potentially get a Xavi Simons. Depends on what happens. If they get Sancho, then we get Xavi Simons. So, yeah, that's it. That is it. What about Matthias de Ligt? Jarvis Cocker, afternoon. Oh, Jarvis, how you doing, my friend? He's out playing golf as per usual. This guy is just
getting a tan. Yeah, he's getting a tan. He's starting to look kind of like me a little bit, slightly.
Yeah, no, don't be like that. Don't be like that. You're beautiful.
No, but he looks good with the bronze on him now. You know what I mean?
But you're from the Caribbean. Get out of here. You're cheating. You have the cheat code, my friend. Big up Jarvis as well. I spoke to Jarvis yesterday. He's practicing his chipping, I gave him a little bit of advice there. Stand on the front foot, like put it a little bit more the ball to your back foot and just do a knock. Yeah. And the rest of the legends, Mick, you have, what did you say? Have I lost weight? Yes, I have.
Oh.
Yes, I'm.
Yeah, well, you can see it here. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but I'm going to the gym. I am back in the gym training 5 days a week. I'm standing in 40 degrees doing incline cardio, like, walking in 40 degrees without AC, anything. Man, it's like Bikram yoga. You sweat out everything. So, of course, thank you so much for noticing. It's moving fast, like Manchester United's transfer window. Yes.
And Anthony has a lot of good points he's making today. So let's read this one more from him, Mick. I'll let you react to this one. If we want to force the Ugarte deal and the Ligt deal over the line, we should smartly go for Jonathan Tah and Joao Neves to get the shift ground 100.
Right. Big up. And that, my friend, if you can take away Anthony's comment, we're going to transition over to the Ligt. And basically what Fabrizio Romano was saying about that situation. Guys, smash the like. I don't know how many we are, but Mark just disappeared. And Fabrizio is going to talk about Matthias de Ligt right here, right now, and Jonathan Tah.
Guaranteed fee. Manchester United want to include add-ons as part of the structure, don't want to pay 50 million euros guaranteed. The Ligt keeps waiting for Manchester United, keeps hoping for Manchester United move, but at the moment, for Man United, outgoings are really important, and knowing...
So stop the tape there, guys. Again, basically, United is coming in with low bids. United don't want to pay the 50 million guaranteed. They want to pay 38 plus add-ons. And this is where it is. Now, this is something that also been mentioned that, Bayern need to sell players and they're looking to bring in Jonathan Tah as well. So let's continue.
To pay 50 guaranteed. So depends on what happens between the two clubs. Could take some time to see the outcome of the story. Remember that on the Ligt Man United depends also the story of Jonathan Tah, because Jonathan Tah has an agreement to go to Bayern, but for Bayern to close the deal with Bayer Leverkusen depends on a defender to leave. Could be the Ligt, could be Upamecano. Let's see. But this remains the case of the domino for Bayern for the defender.
So it's a domino effect, Mark. And the closest to leave, he said, like an Upamecano or the Ligt, somebody has to leave because they have already agreed personal terms with the Jonathan Tah, which is the preferred from Bayer Leverkusen. They want him so much, so somebody's got to leave. They're not going to sell Upamecano. Ligt is already agreed personal terms. He's speaking to Ten Hag. He's just waiting in the ring. So yeah, I mean, it's got to happen eventually, because if Jonathan Tah wants, if that is the target, then they're not going to stall in that deal. They want to resolve it, right? So Manchester United are being smart. They're saying, okay, 38, 5 million add-ons or 10 million add-ons. No, we want 50. No, okay, fine, we walk away. And they're going to get desperate in the day because they agreed personal terms with Jonathan Tah, yeah? So, yeah, what do you think? So
100. I totally agree with that comment and agree with what Fabrizio is saying. And I've been hearing some reports that Manchester United have been making some inquiries about Jonathan Tah, to be fair. So, let's piss off Bayern. Let's piss off PSG. Man, you know what, Mick? I know a lot of people, they have this opinion where we should be nice guys. Man, fuck that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We are not nice guys. We're being ruthless. Come on, it's this totally different establishment. Come on.
Yeah, we definitely need to piss off everyone. Big Man United. You know what I mean?
Swagger.
Big Billy, big bollocks. You know what I mean? Walk with this and slap it on the table. Let's walk away with their players. So what? I mean, the only reason I'm kind of a little bit is because if we piss them off the right way, it might not be any de Ligt. It might not be, or they might have to go on hunger strikes like Anthony. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing for me. But definitely, we should be taking the piss on these clubs right now.
Yeah. Mark. If you remember this song, walk this way, talk this way. This is Manchester United. If you know copyrights, okay, Mick, copyrights. Anyway, big up. You know that song, right?
Yeah, of course.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith. Yeah. Who could not know that song, bro? You have to.
This way. Have this way. Fabrizio, continue.
Still waiting and hoping for Man United. And so, guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Desiree Doué, Xavi Simons, Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Fabrizio Romano, with your update. We have our own version. Of course, we listen to Fabrizio, but it's been seriously, interesting to hear. In the transfer market, you have so many moving components and dots not aligning as well. One deal is linked to the other. And right now, what we spoke about here is that my understanding is United are looking for 3 center-backs here. So 3 midfielders. Part of this deal, what Fabrizio was saying, internally, Amrabat is still the choice. But number one is Ugarte. And they're moving swiftly, like with the interest of Jadon Sancho, is that you can utilize Jadon Sancho with a swap deal for Ugarte, potentially pay 10 millions. And then also they snubbed AC Milan by going in and saying, we're offering a little bit more. Don't sign for AC Milan. He's a number 8 that we want, and he's been always on our target. Even Alice Talk Football, our neighboring channel, our friend, she's been raving about Ugarte for months, even 12 months or a year or more, right? And she's over the moon because I like Ugarte. I like Fofana. And what they can bring to the team, they're not superstars, but they are system players, Mark. They're system players. That means that Ugarte is what Manchester United want to do. They want to play that system with the destroyer, the Michael Carrick Schitster type, you know, or even to say like something that we haven't had since Michael Carrick left, or something that we you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we haven't had that midfielder. Sofyan Amrabat, we had little bit glimpses last season. He played four games, I would say, in that position as the destroyer. But other than that, the only destroyer we had was Fred, right?
100%. That was one of the only kind of players that was close to that, in my honest opinion. I mean, Matic was similar in a way, but not really that, you know, he was not in his peak fitness when he came to United. So it was more about him being over the moon. I see some of the guys are coming in asking some questions here. I don't know if you want to get them in, but I think they're pretty relative to what we're talking about. Also, I see Brendan is saying he's not sure if we need a destroyer, but rather a gatekeeper. I think that's referring to Zubamendi. I'm not too sure if I'm wrong there, but Brendan, you can correct me. What are your thoughts on that, Mick?
Yeah, Mick, Zubamendi is more of the tiki-taka hybrid 6-8, right? So if you get this cheap deal, like, you know, you get that swap deal happening, you paid 0, you gave them Sancho, and then for the 25 million, you get a more of a distributor of the ball, like the hybrid 6 and 8, which is Fofana. So that is smart move. You're getting 2 players for the price of 25. So we need a destroyer 100%. You know, if you're going to play 3 in the back, we might play 3 in the back. You need that shield between the midfield and the defense. Somebody that would just pick up the ball, break up the play, and distribute it 15, 20 yards here and there, right? So, you know, you will see that potentially Ugarte picks up the ball and transport it over, simple pass over to Ugarte or Kobe Mainoo and into the final third. So, and up there you will have Xerxes receiving the ball, linking up to the winger, linking up the play. You will see different triangles and passage of play. So this is the way I envision the Ten Hag total football will be.
Guys, don't forget to get your questions in, guys, because we have 10 minutes and we're going to answer all of your questions. So get them in. Just type a little Q in front and write the questions, and let's get interactive with it. I see Owana Sunday's coming in. He's saying everything is bound down to money. I don't know why Maguire and some of the other players aren't agitating a leave. Basically,
they are going to leave. They are definitely going to leave. I just want to add on to what we said regarding tactics and everything else. Go on Jarvis's Corner video on Monday. There was a 2 hours and 50 minutes marathon, but boy, we had 3,200 watching all the time. Brilliant. And Jarvis covering together with Stu Wally the new style of play, like potentially what we discussed here in short. But if you want more details, go and check out the video. It's absolutely smashing. Yes, about money. And football is all about money. It's a money ball, isn't it?
As you're saying that Jarvis is coming in, he's not a little bit, you know, not as optimistic as I am, because he feels it's too much. So the US tour has started. He's afraid that we won't offload any of the unambitious, overpaid bluffers in the squad. The only way to get rid is to run down the contract. Well, in a way, Jarvis, I you know, it has been the norm with the previous regime, and I see you're saying that the same way that you know, Lord Voldemort is saying, you know, 80 million after paying 80 million for Anthony, these deals are a steal for us. You know what I mean? But that's the last regime. And I'm only saying this because I'm watching how they have been operating and doing business, and these guys have not been wasting time. They've been very efficient, and they will find a way. Of course, in every contract, there's ways to break the clause. And if the way they've been selling players or planning to sell players, I feel like we're willing to take losses for these players in order to get them out of the club. And if not, they will probably execute their contracts. You know, pay them off or something. You never know.
Jarvis as well. Jarvis, let me comment to Jarvis and everyone else. You keep forgetting we have the mastermind. There's a reason why we recruited Omar Barada is as a CEO. He was a chief operating officer for the City Group. And he used to do these fantastic deals, right? So this is the fruit of the labor that we see now. The combination of Omar Barada, Jean-Claude Blanc, Dan Ashworth is there. We have a head of recruitment. What's his name? Come on, I keep forgetting. There's so many names coming in. Listen, we are walking away. We're just doing multiple deals, like, you know. So of course, we got to be optimistic. I am starting to wake up from the depression of, 18 years of Glazers ownership, right? But still, never forget that the Glazers are still there, right? But at least Glazers are not in charge of the footballing operations job. So yeah, big up for you, man. Love you.
Jarvis is also coming back in saying Amrabat is suffering because of our inability to offload Casemiro, Eriksen, and McTominay. Don't see them going anywhere. Well, Jarvis, I can tell you this: Eriksen is likely to leave in the next right after the tour. There has been some reports coming out of Turkey that clubs are interested in him. Let's wait and see a few more days. But I can tell you, Fulham is preparing a bid for McTominay, and there has been reports of Tottenham Hotspurs in being very interested. I know Brendan mentioned that they signed Archie Gray for 40 million, but they've been playing Archie Gray in defense.
Yeah.
So
Casemiro is a brand name. I think Casemiro will find either a European or Turkish club, or even an option to go to MLS. So I don't think that Saudi is the only one. Saudi is kind of playing the game at the moment because, hey, there's nobody else coming in for Casemiro. Why are we paying 30, 40, 60 million for him? Nah, we're going to wait. So this is normal tactics, what Saudi is doing at the moment. If somebody comes in all of a sudden, express more interest in Casemiro, Saudi will be back on the train. So yeah, we wouldn't go in and buy all these players and talking to Ugarte if we didn't have reinsurances that either Casemiro or Eriksen will leave. So that's what the way I understood. Lord Voldemort, is that chicken dance, Mick, working wonders? No, KFC. I'm on a diet.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, for me to do the chicken dance, you have 10 minutes to do 40 more likes because it's 59 likes at the moment, guys. So yeah, next time, 51 likes. Okay, I'm in the mode if we get that. You actually have a couple more minutes to do that. So how many people are watching right now is 904 across all platforms. If you do get 40 more likes up there within 5 minutes, I'm talking 5 minutes, you will see Mark do the chicken dance.
If they want a chicken dance from me, they're gonna have to get 100 likes on Mark and MUFCFAN on the
Listen, you chicken out last time.
No, they're gonna have to go over to the co-stream, go into the description, smash the like on Mark and MUFCFAN, and get 100 likes on my channel, and let's see if we're really gonna get the chicken dances today.
Shut up, give me a beat.
Let's just now hold on. We got lots of questions. Before you start singing, answer the people's questions. You know what I mean? And then we will get to that point because we still have a lot to finish. They have questions.
Yes.
The rumors are, Brendan is asking you, the rumors are regards to the Ligt and other clubs that are, they're none. Basically, that tells you the deal is 100%.
You're deflecting. This is what you do best, Mark. You're deflecting all the time. Give me a beat, you mother yucker. Mark can rap for shit. Mickey's composing a hit. Fuck you, man. Let's continue the question.
You have to, Jarvis is also coming back in saying the reason we came in with low bids is because of our cash flow. We rely on installments. That's why it becomes mission impossible. Our debt is killing the liquidity.
That's why they've done the strategic review. That's what they've done, the strategic review. How are we going to approach all these targets with all these steps? Oh, well, let's do this. I mean, you covered this morning, basically, it's not all about lowering down the wage bill, but also redundancy, 200 over the staff that needs to go as well. So this is the way you can lower down the wage bill and the overall of the FFP, because staff salaries is also part of the FFP operations, John Edmond, big up to you, 82 watching, 52 likes. No, it's not 82. If I look at my live stats, it's 900.
I'm not sure if he's watching somewhere else.
Maybe
sometimes YouTube is kind of giving a little bit of a thing right now, because sometimes when I'm watching on YouTube, the likes could be 200, but I might see the last time when I like it, which might be at 90 or something. So it could be like
I'm straight on YouTube right now looking at the live statistics, so that's what I can say. There's 941 viewers at the moment, And this is what it's telling me. But otherwise, and then when the YouTube is finishing, it will take a couple of hours to add on all those views that we're viewing. So you will see that popping up. That's a little bit weird how YouTube is operating. But Mark, come on, man. Come on.
David is saying we need at least 6 new faces in the squad. Big up. Oh, mental ball game where I saw the L'Equipe. So it was L'Equipe. So maybe you have to check it. There was a report from L'Equipe that was being quoted around that Manuel Ugarte handed in a transfer request, and this was on Monday. So you can double check. I believe, yeah.
Okay. Further questions, guys? Any more questions, Mark, before we wrap up?
Hold on. You're making me laugh so much.
Remember, I got
lost in the chat. You know what I mean? I got lost in the chat.
You got lost in my rap. You got to wrap up. Yeah. Anyway, Mick is on fire.
Jarvis is asking a question. How much free cash do we have left? It looks like all our negotiations are bound down to installment. To tell me deals will come late, if at all. Well, I mean,
I don't know. I'm not the accountant of Manchester United, so I haven't a clue. And it's not my headache, Jarvis, as well. I'm just a fan like you, like Mark, and everything else. Just, I don't care. Show me the money. Show me the player. Get them in the door. Get the players out of the door. That's all we care as a fans. Anyway, who cares about 100%. The cash flow? We're not the profit and loss owners.
To be fair, but at the same time, I do think we have some money. I just think that they just wanted to maximize the expenditure this summer. I don't think it's really about the problematic cash flow. I think I've seen Alice report on a story where we have something like, where she is saying that we have something like 250 million.
250, 260, yeah.
Now I'm not saying that is actually what we have, because for me, I'm not too sure yet but what I've read about, I know we have at least 150 million to spend, 50 from before July and 100 after July. So it's very possible that there's somewhere in the region there. Yeah. But I think it's just about maximizing the use of the funds for this window.
100%. And that's absolutely right. They're navigating the finances smart, to be honest. So if you do amortization installments, I mean that you're not going to get straight away, like, pay 50% upfront for a transfer. No, you pay small fees, like, 8 million, 12 million this year is registered on the book. So if you get seven players into the door on what? On 10 million each. For amortization, you only spend what? 70 million on that books. So yeah. Oh, and plus you get the players out as well. So that is smart, right? And another thing also what I mentioned earlier as well is that we are navigating the PSR FFP as well. So we don't want to be in that position. We are playing by the books. We're not 115 charges. We're playing by the books because we want to do this correct. We don't want to end up in the situation where you come to the end of the season and, there's an inquiry regarding your books and you get points deduction, right? That is very important. And that's what they're doing. That's why you have such good people in Omar Barada and Dan Ashwood and, who else?
I see Nick S is coming in with an amazing point, and this is something I always wondered. The one thing is he finds really interesting is clubs are interested in our players, but it is another thing to get the player to take a wage cut and make the move, and that's something we've been suffering with for a long time.
I mean, that's coming down to if you're convincing players to come to Manchester United, you sold in the vision. You told them something that we don't know. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do. This is our roadmap, right? And this is exciting. And it's like you want to, maybe you want to work for Sony Music. You're a music producer or mixer, right? And in order to get that, it's Mark, you're willing to take a pay cut just to get the experience. Like, this is the vision. This is the roadmap where we're going to be as a company. You say, hell yeah, bring me on, right? Sometimes it's not all about the money. It's about
maybe now it's not it's more like that, Mick, but back when I was going to Full Sail, it was like, hey, we like you, come intern at our studio. We can't pay you, but if you do a good job, maybe you will get paid eventually. And that's what it's like, in the music industry, and that was not too far ago. So it was really interesting.
True. Any more questions?
Yali Malmin is coming with a big punch. I was waiting for this news all day. I'm pretty excited about this particular loan spell, Wigan, because the Wigan coach is a very good striker coach. And I think what Wigan needed most was a striker in their squad. So Joe Hugel getting the loan to Wigan as opposed to the other club that was interested. I think it was Barnley or something like that. I'm really happy about this loan for Joe Hugel because he's going to get a lot of minutes at Wigan and they have a decent striking coach.
Big up Joe Hugel as well, 100%. Like, you know, there might be some loan deals. What the hell is going on with Hannibal Mejbri? Will it be a? I don't see him being a Manchester United player. And what's going on with Anthony Dos Santos? His agent came out to say, "Oh, well, I haven't heard anything." It's a positive headache, isn't it, John?
As you mentioned him, Brendan is saying he's linked to Besiktas. I heard something about that earlier as well. But I also know that, you know, maybe we might be moving on Hannibal Mejbri. So look out for rumors for that information coming out. I hear a deal might be struck for the club for a very small fee. It might be one of the new clubs that just came up in the Premier League. If not, maybe a club from abroad. I think it could be as well.
Kalistri to Galatasaray, yeah, that seems to be on as well. I started a poll. I want to finish the show as well because part of our Achilles heel is where we started with outs with this morning show. I always said beginning of the transfer, the biggest thing for Manchester United this season is the outs. And this is what we're working on at the moment. So I want to do this.
I need you to promise me that you'll be on your best behavior.
I promised other people that I'd be on my worst behavior. And I gave my word, so.
Don't make me fire you.
You can't fire me. You're acting manager, not office manager, so you have no firing powers.
Don't make me pre-fire you.
You wouldn't dare.
Watch this. You're pre-fired. And when I'm promoted, you'll be full fired.
If you get promoted. And if you haven't fallen in love with me by then.
What?
The classic. This was taken from The Office, if you noticed. But Harry Maguire, time to go, I think. Harry Maguire haven't been part of the preseason. Is he acting injured? I hear stories he's going to go out the door 100%. So, yeah, I started a poll, guys, before we continue, before we wrap up the show. And I asked, do you think Maguire will leave and be sold this season? And so far, get your votes in. This is your time to shine. So far, there's 22 votes and 64% saying no. Why are you thinking no? He's not going to be part of the squad. He's not fitting the playing style. In his best interest, if he stays, his England career will be over, and he loves to play for England. Mark, thoughts before we continue wrapping up?
I'm gonna bring this up from Jarvis, but I also have a question coming in from Lord Voldemort as well. So let's see what Jarvis' question is asking first, because I quite agree with this. But in a way, I feel like United is we don't really do these things. We take more of a kind of classy approach unless it's a real untenable situation. You know, so I agree with Jarvis 100% on this statement. If we are serious about selling Casemiro, McTominay, Eriksen, Maguire, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka, we should have left them home from the US tour to make them feel unwelcome. Now, I totally agree with this statement because I would have done the same thing. I'm kind of a ruthless son of a gun when I'm ready, and I'm telling you guys, some of these names here, yeah, they need that kind of treatment. But, you know, at the same time, United has never really done these kind of things unless it was a really extreme situation. So I never expected that to happen. Now, you know, maybe we take them on the tour, but maybe they don't play any games on the tour. You never know what could happen. So you have to look at it from a perspective that there could be a possibility that things are in the works while we don't even know about the reports yet, because likely sometimes reports have to be found out by someone or leaked for us to get a scoop to bring it to you guys, and then you hear about it widespread. So sometimes, you know, maybe they're operating in the dark with this situation. Maybe they have a few deals lined up for these guys and they were just kind of keeping it quiet, hush for the tour. It's only 10 days, Jarvis, and I know it's worrying. I know,
but there's plenty time left in the transfer market still to go, and deals can be made even if you're on US tour 100%. Listen, we are 69 likes. How many people watching us today? 1,034. Temperature is rising, and you're absolutely right. 69 likes. Listen, we were supposed to have Sal Warner in, but he couldn't make it. I shared the link. I was looking forward to have Sal back on, but Salvatore will be back next time, I would say. Salvatore Varanetti, I called him now. Varanetti. He's down in Naples, Italy. What's the mood like in Germany? What do you hear from Germany report regarding Plettigold, and all them stuff?
Well, from Plettigold right now, I'm hearing a little bit of news about about the Ligt deal and some reports about Xavi hinting, the Leipzig CEO has been speaking to the press, and he has been saying that, he has received a hint from the young talent that he wants to remain at Leipzig. I know that's what Brendan is talking about as well. I mean, I would say that that's not really fair to say assess. I think he's a little bit biased on that choice. I'm also hearing that, Manchester might be looking to accept £40 million offer from PSG that should be coming in today or tomorrow. That's something I'm hearing about from in Germany. Reports are also going on about that. But most of the reports are coming in about United still being locked in negotiations for De Ligt. And that's the only story that's buzzing every few minutes. You're hearing a different update about that. So maybe we see some movement on that, because, as you know, the tour is getting closer. We already departed.
It's what we played. Also, Fabrizio Romano was saying that already made personal terms with Jonathan Tah, the centre back from Bayern Leverkusen. So they're waiting for an exit, and that might be like, and the closest to the exit, of course, is Matthias de Ligt has agreed personal terms, right? So for me, I think Matthias de Ligt will become a Manchester United player at the end of the day. I think also McTominay will leave, because there are lots of stories coming out there, like Spurs are looking to get him as well, his signature. I think the Fulham will come in with another bid, with utilizing the money that they received for the transfer over for what's his name, Palhinha as well, and also West Ham as well. And also I remember Saka to West Ham seems to be hotting up as well. Maguire as well. I think he will leave as well. But, Rome wasn't built in one day, and there's plenty time in the window, and they are working out tirelessly in the second half of the transfer window to get players out. Now, I'm going to close the poll. Now, there's 29 votes, and the poll was pretty much, do you think Maguire would leave? And 55% says no, and 45% yes. End poll. Thank you. Smash. Goodbye. That's it. If we do have any more questions, what you find in the Q&A section. Other than that, I would just like to thank each and everyone for tuning in. Mark, any more interesting questions?
The only thing I see interesting really is Yarley is asking, didn't they trigger Maguire's +1? I don't think he's leaving. And I have not heard reports on that. I can't answer that question, to be fair. From what I've heard, I think they're open to him going. This is what I was reporting on this morning.
Okay. If you trigger +1, that means that you trigger the +1 to get more money out of a Maguire sale, right? If you've got 1 year left on his contract, for instance, you want to get that money. If you trigger +1, that the value is more higher up. So there might be some strategical thinking. But the question is, he's not going to be a favorite. He's going to be 5th choice centre-back. I think even Johnny Evans is going to start over him, right? If you get 3 more centre-backs in, let's say you get Matthias de Ligt, you have Lenny Yoro in, you might getting a left-footed centre-back to play there. It might be, I don't know who's that going to be, but there's multiple choices. Brentway is out of the door. He's not going to come. 100% no. There's going to be something else which we are contemplating. We're talking about Giancarlo Inacio and multiple choices. And regarding Frimpong, I keep hearing as well, there's something fishy. I was watching Goldbridge was talking about this yesterday. He had a release clause that expired the other day, and nobody's coming in for it. So there's something fishy, right? Something fishy. And yet again, if you sell Wan-Bissaka, then there will be a potential deal to make for Frimpong in that position as well.
100%. I see Stephanie Griffith is coming in asking you a question. Can you please just answer that for her, please, Mick?
Yeah, what's happening? I mean, of course, Jose Mourinho, a lover of taking our dead woods, has expressed interest. I think the Lindelof would end up going to Turkey. That's what I'm hearing as well. There's also some rumors of him going back to Benfica, where he came from as well, to Manchester United. So we will see. But he's definitely going out the door. Definitely. I haven't even seen him in the preseason. I don't think even he's injured, right? So,
yeah, that's one of the things I've also been looking at right now. Jarvis is apologizing because he doesn't want to be. He's not trying to be negative, but he's just thinking about it, that maybe his opinion might be a little bit PTSD kicking in because we've started the US tour and there's still a lot of work to be done. He's actually worried, but
we haven't started yet. We're traveling and we're playing early weekend morning, I think, as well. Arsenal.
No, we're playing on Thursday early morning.
Whoa. What time?
Hold on, let me double check. The game is set to be
7 a.m. my time. So yeah,
1 a.m. Well, it's 1 a.m. It's going to be 2 a.m. my time, 1 a.m. UK time, guys. It's a preseason friendly against. Wait, are we playing Arsenal first?
Yes, we're playing Arsenal.
Well, if we're playing Arsenal first, then that game is on Sunday. Why do I think we have a game on Thursday?
I don't know. 29th, I think it was the game. I think it was 29th or 28th, something.
Yeah, well then that works in order with the fact that they're launching the new away kit, then the new away kit tomorrow, and 4 days just to get. Yeah. I think that's exactly what is happening.
Yeah. I just received from a friend of mine that's just started to learn to drive motorbike scooters, having so much fun. Yeah, carabamba. Anyway, Bombay, it's okay, Jarvis. I understand there's a lot of people still living under the old notion of John Murtagh and the bankers, but this takes time to get used to. And I see that the unity of the global fan base is now getting more of the endorphins. Like, we are positive. I wake up positive, thinking excitement. But tread with waters, guys. Tread with waters, because we haven't started kicking the ball as of yet. Like, US tour is still like a practice. You see, like, who's going to get minutes from the youngsters is going to be embedded in the first team squad. The players, they're not training at the moment. They will have specialized training back in Carrington. Of course, they played in Euros. I think that they've been given instructions, like patterns, how to practice. And, of course, I think so. But anyway, I want to thank each and everyone, and Jarvis and everyone, and also Scott at the wheel with the comments, and everyone in Mental Ball Game. We cannot read all of you comments, but especially also thank you to the motorbike that just passed Mark as well. I can hear
Sorry.
that.
I can't help that, guys. It's so hot in the flat right now. I have to keep the window open.
Yep. And I agree with Jeff Steele's super chat. Ugarte is coming. It's a stop believing 100%. Also, Jeff Steele came in with a super chat as well, all the way from Australia. Before we even started the stream, Jeff Steele was coming in with an uppercut. So big up to Jeff Steele and everyone that's tuning in. This has been the M&M Transfer Show. Leave your comment in the non-live comment section. We love to read, and if we can reply, we will reply. But it's been a very interesting show. Let us know your thoughts and feelings. Do you think that Manchester United will sign both Ugarte and Fofana? And if so, if not so, give your reasons why. Mark, you will be back in the morning. I say Mark, I say like an Irishman. Mark,
100% we'll be back in the morning, guys. So stay tuned for more updates. I wanted to do a little 10-minute stream later on talking about the issues that it's currently plaguing football. Everyone's talking about the Enzo Fernandez situation. I'm not going to talk about it from the similar angle of everyone. I have a slightly different approach. So if you guys might be interested in that, you will see that upload pop up on your updates later on. It's going to actually be a 10-minute upload. So I'm not going to actually be live. But if you want to listen to it and, comment and let me know what your opinions on that is, it will be interesting.
Right. So before we close the shop, the last uppercut, this is what's going to sink us today. It's a brilliant
super chat, super chat, super chat,
super chat.
And the uppercut comes all the way from Sweden. It's Jonathan Liljenberg with his super chat to say hi there. What have I missed? Oh, Jonathan, John, we're just about to close the shop. I do appreciate your donation, my son, but you can watch it in retrospect. But that forced me to summarize what we've spoken about. First and foremost, go check out Mark's video this morning about. He's spoken about 8 players going out. What we discussed here, what we missed, is basically it's understood that Manchester United are eyeing 3 midfielders, basically Ugarte and swap deal for Jadon Sancho, different alternatives. We've spoken about that Fofana has been persuaded. He was giving personal terms to AC Milan, but has been swayed as they found out that United have shown interest. So, Fofana was valued about 20 million euros, and United said, we'll give you 25 million with installments. So that is the one to watch. And of course, what else? We spoke about Matthias de Ligt as well, as United are kind of eyeballing that as well, throwing in low bids with add-ons. And, what did we say as well, Mark? We said that the information was also that Bayern have agreed personal terms with Jonathan Tah, but in order to get him out the door, they need to get rid of Upamecano or Ligt, and the most likely will be Ligt as it's most
100%.
advanced. We will be back with more information as per usual. If something breaks, I'm not talking about Mark's arm or chicken dance ass, whatever, because he refused to do it. We definitely will be back here talking to you. And I just switched background, just testing this new sick background which I designed. Does it look good?
It looks pretty good, Mick. 100%. Maybe I would have to get you to design one of those for me. You know what I mean?
You know what it is?
I would.
You know what?
What's that?
This is inspiring me of the Mickey Phelan brick wall, but he used to lean in. You know, that was Mickey Phelan's job. That is the brick wall. You know.
If you're doing a background for me, Mick, I kind of want the one with the you see the devil on your crest. That devil on your crest. Yeah, that's the one with the background. I
want this as a tattoo. Honestly, I'm thinking of this as a tattoo.
Oh, you can't make, because the one that when I come back in a month, I'm gonna have that on my arm right here, because I'm finishing my sleeve, because I have this already, so I got one designed, and they're gonna put the dragon somewhere here, I think so. Yeah,
but put it on your ass. It will be a devilish ass. Then you can do a better chicken dance. Anyway, people, thank you for tuning in. It's been a lovely afternoon show. See you to the next video. Go check out Mark's later on as well. And brilliant. Thank you, Mark, for doing the morning show. I am super busy at the moment, and I was really looking forward to talk to you guys. Let us know in the non-live comment section, like and subscribe as per usual. Mark, what do we say here before we finish? 75 likes. Get those likes up in retrospective, please. Mark, finish your likes.
Don't forget to smash the likes, guys. And if you're new, don't forget to hit those notification bell on Mick's channel on MUFC Realist TV. We're on the road to 40K subscribers, guys. We're skipping 35. We're going straight to 40, guys. So let's get there. And if you watch on my channel, I'm on the road to 1K. I just hit a 460 subscribers so far, but they're telling me skip 500 and go to the 1K. So, guys, smash the likes, get in, share it around, help the community grow. This is your community. We are sharing it with you. We can't do it without you guys, and it's all for you guys. Big up from MUFC Realist TV, from Mick and myself, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit those notification bell, and we will be back with more updates as usual. Big up to all of you legends joining.
As always, we finish off with the legendary quote from John Ball. Peace, love, go bananas. Ciao. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.